All right, so our next presenter is Charlie Hickman, and his presentation, I know Charlie's a local favorite, Charlie. November Clowns is his presentation title, and Charlie, for those who don't know him, is a member of the Firehouse Arts Center Board of Directors. He's an elementary school teacher in the Montessori School, teaching 1st through 3rd grade. He is a painter and founder of the January Art Show, a charity art auction to benefit a group home for disabled adults in Armenia. He is raised in Boulder, but now lives in Longmont with his lovely wife and son. And he referred to them as lovely, so I'm not hitting on them, just so you know. So let's bring him up here with a round of applause.
Oh, thank you. So how do I see my notes then?
You can flip one of those lights back on if you need.
No, it's okay. When I graduated college, I decided that I wanted to travel to Russia to get out of the country for a bit. And pursuing this challenge, I ran across a group of creatures called November Clowns. November Clown is a species of clown that visits Russia annually to visit orphanages, hospitals, and a variety of other institutions. November Clowns come from all over the world, led by Dr. Pecha Adams of the Gesundheit Institute. Dr. Pecha Adams is an amazing character that has struggled to revolutionize our healthcare industry by emphasizing care and compassion over pharmaceuticals. He is a huge man, 6 foot 4 inches tall, with a streak of blue in his hair and a curly mustache. Patch has been traveling to Russia annually for 30 years to strengthen connections between our two cultures. To see how he touches lives and builds a connection is to see a soul accomplishing their cosmic task. He brings people from all walks of life to experience this firsthand, transforming common people into ambassadors for peace. November Clowns are known for their amazing lack of preparation or training. While other hospital clowns across the world hold extensive training programs that include lectures on methods and philosophies, the November Clown is generally an individual with little or no training. November Clowns do not have an act or a show to put on in front of an audience. They are there to touch and to connect intimately with the forgotten and suffering, and they make it play a serious business, knowing that laughter leads people to health and happiness. When I first learned of the November Clowns at a slideshow in Boulder, I was struck by the novelty of traveling with such a group. I wrote a letter to Patch Adams and was put on the list, and I started saving my money, and I felt the will of the cosmos leading me. The November Clowns are known to travel in a troupe of 40 to 50 members. They travel from many different countries across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Some clowns have experience, others are fresh off the clown boat. A group of clowns is called a troupe. The November Clown Troupe travels by bus through Moscow. The bus is a place for conversations. The clowns never sit with the same person twice. The clowns gather regularly for meetings, which are whole group conversations. For meetings, the clowns sit in a large space and each share something. Everyone has to share something of themselves and finish with the word beep to signal the next speaker. Generally, the first meeting is introductions, and I remember saying, I really don't like clowns. I'm here to learn more about Maria's Children Art Studio. Beep. Generally, Maria's Children Art Studio is something special. The program director showed me how the children are introduced to their potential through art lessons, home-style meals, and a family atmosphere. The children come from orphanages and boarding schools of Moscow, and many have physical disabilities. The children have been raised in institutions, denied meaningful human connection, and starved for healthy relationships. The studio is a place where children from orphanages interact and make friendships. In Russia, orphanages are not full of children looking for new families. There are children being raised in an institution with living family members unable to care for them. Although improving, the baby houses, children homes, and boarding schools of Russia are a dismal place to grow up. Maria's Children hosts the November Clowns in Moscow, and their program director working tirelessly to assure them access to these dismal government institutions. The children and volunteers from the studio interpret Russian and guide them through the streets and sprawling hospital campuses. The program director for Maria's Children carefully plots the day's adventures, and these clowning opportunities are transformative. I was born a November Clown in the burn unit of a children's hospital in Moscow in 2002. We had pulled up in the bus to a sprawling hospital campus. Upon disembarkation, the clowns are quickly divided, first in half, and the two large groups go to separate buildings, and then we're quartered and halved again until we're a very small group. I found myself in the burn unit with another first-time clown, facing a bench full of a dozen children covered in varying degrees of white bandages stained with iodine. The children were wide-eyed and attired in faded pajamas. Some children were clothed in white rags tied at the waist. I didn't even have a red nose. I don't speak Russian. Afterwards, I got back on the bus with a new mind. I wasn't crying, but there was certainly a terrible strain on my heart. The founder of Maria's Children looked at me and told me that it was a special sort of seed that falls from outer space and lands in your head to make you into a November clown. I think that's what she said. I don't speak Russian. A bearded wild man leaned over on the bus seat in front of me and handed me his... That was the microphone. He handed me his clown nose, which I have somewhere on me, and I'm not going to take out because my microphone is here. The program director for Maria's Children tells me that the second meeting is scheduled after a week, thank you, in Moscow. After clowning for 7 days, all of us have witnessed injustice, poverty, and suffering, and we are tired and bruised and feeling raw. I see that the Russian language schedule, the meeting, is listed as therapy. And at this meeting, there are tears, fears, and deep and raw emotions expressed. Beep. Then we go to St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg is simply an amazing city with a rich history. It was built on a swamp, so don't drink the water. The last meeting is for goodbyes. The whole trip is an experiment in humanity and a workshop on love. We have brought a bright light to dark corners, and in the process increased our own intensity. The trip filled me with courage and hope. Being a November clown in 2002 made all the difference in my life, and I was bursting with gratitude. I went back to school and earned my degree, and I traveled to Russia many more times, and I ended up marrying the program director for Maria's Children. I see that I'm on the last slide, so I skipped the last bit. Thank you.
The clown boat is the greatest image ever. I so want to be on the clown boat.